All right, well, this week, I guess did not go to plan on this turning $50 into 5,000 challenge, reselling challenge. All that stuff I spent money on at the yard sales last weekend. Nothing sold. 0 items sold. So I'd hoped at least one thing would sell, and even if it was for $10 to just keep the money flowing, keep the cash flowing. And nothing sold. I sent out 2 or 3 offers. I had some watchers on a few of the items that I listed, but no one was interested in the offers, so fair enough. I hoped at least one of those would go through, but they didn't. So it was really disappointing. But I also had a really busy week at work, so I did not list every single item. I sort of picked the ones that I thought looked like they would move the fastest, and just none of them sold. So I started working on listing the next few items from that to hopefully get through all of them. I think I still have a few left to list from that, but you know, the yard sale day Saturday came and I only had, I think it's $942 in my budget.
That was some wishful thinking. I have $9.42 in my budget at this point.
So I said, you know what, I'm gonna do what I've done before, especially recently, I've done in the past, is when I'm not selling a lot of stuff. You know, probably one school of thought would say, buy just as much as possible, just buy more things and get it going. But since I haven't even listed everything I got, then I'm just gonna be behind on my listings. So the main thing I should focus on is I should go out and picking and focus on quick sellers, stuff that's really, I know is gonna be really desirable, or something that looks like it might bring a really big profit. Those would be the priorities. So I was looking out for those types of items. I was gonna be looking out for those types of items. Well, on Saturday, the weather wasn't great. It looked like it was gonna rain all day, so understandably, nobody really set up their yard sales. I think we found a couple after we ended up at 2 estate sales. And I went in with full intention of again, just looking for the very good stuff. But these were both family run estate sales, so you guys know what that means. Generally, that means the prices are unbeatable. And especially the first estate sale, I just immediately started grabbing stuff. They had good stuff, and it sounded like, I overheard someone say like clothes were $1 a piece, and I went, well, what was I just saying about looking to get into clothes more and looking for stuff that was $1? So I just started pulling shirts and jeans and anything that looked like a nice brand that I was familiar with or looked good, a good style. I grabbed that. Then I was, and I'm sorry, I don't have any footage of it because I didn't pull out my camera. And then by the time I realized I was gonna be just buying everything, my arms were full of stuff. My arms were just full of stuff. I just couldn't stop buying these. I actually had to, towards the end when I realized I had bought one load, taken it back to the car, and then I was buying a whole nother load, armful of stuff that I needed to be selective because I wasn't gonna be able to list all the stuff. So I really wish I had some footage just to show you all. But it was definitely more than $9. So I went way over that budget that I had still had for that. So maybe this doesn't matter. This is a self-imposed challenge, right? But I think I can't count that as part of this challenge because this money I had to draw from additional money. I found some good stuff. I think it's all stuff I think that will take a while to sell. I don't think any of it's like incredibly fast selling items, but I think it could be all really good items, and I have to get it all listed too. But I spent $47. I think my average price was about $1 for things, except for one really nice purse that they charged me. I had to pay up $20 for it, but I think that'll be worth it. But yeah, so I'm not gonna count any of that stuff in this challenge, but it is good stuff to sell going forward. But it doesn't help me add to this challenge because in my book, because I had to spend additional money that far above what I had in my budget. But I couldn't just let that stuff sit there, right? I think you probably will agree that if I had that $47 in my wallet and it was all good stuff, and when you get a family run estate sale and they're giving you stuff for $1 each, you have to buy it. But so we're not going to count any of that, but it was a really fun estate sale and I'm really happy with that. But we did end up in a second estate sale that was also family run. It was the second day for that estate sale, but they still had some really good stuff. I only ended up spending $4 there. So I'm going to count $4 from my budget at that second estate sale. And I got just probably a couple of things from there that hopefully will do well. So the first thing is I got a book. I got this enormous book of tea patterns, and I thought when I first started selling, I would do a lot of books. I already had a lot of books. I sold a few of them off when I first started to get going. I love to read. I used to be a librarian. So I thought I would do a lot of books, but it seems like the book market it's really hard to make a lot of money off of it. Books just sell for super cheap by bigger companies. So I realized pretty quickly that books wouldn't be a big part, but I still love books. So I always look at them, and I even get ones for myself to read. You saw in my last haul, I bought a bunch, and I'll probably just read those first, and hopefully they can sell as like a lot of the same series after I've read them. But that priority was to read them. This one, what happened is they had a lot of books. And so what I've started doing now when I look at books is I kind of look out for ones that I think might be valuable. So big nonfiction books, some cookbooks. I bought a couple of cookbooks recently that turned out to be absolutely worthless. So that happens, but I pulled this one off the shelf because it looked interesting. I love teacups, tea patterns, china. I like looking at them, but I don't buy a lot of them. But the book looks interesting, so I comped it, and it looked like it sells pretty well. So I said, I'll grab that one, and I'll just do that one book. And that's kind of how I deal with books, is I just sort of look for a few that might be worth it and try to comp them. And especially with something that's this big hardback book, I want to make sure I still get it for pretty cheap, and that it is worth enough money for all the packaging and stuff I'll have to do for that. So I got that, and I was looking at the clothing in a closet, and they had these are like athletic wear, Safila one, skorts, obviously sports, and I ended up with, I think there's 6 here, but I looked up like these more colorful ones, and new. When these are new, they look like they sell fairly well. So I wasn't quite sure about if they will sell used. So I thought I'd grab the stack of them and see what price she was gonna charge, and then maybe I can do them as a bundle. So when I got back to the owner and said, okay, I have all these skorts and this book, and she's like, $4. And I said, that sounds great. So we'll say maybe I paid $2 for the bundle of skorts and $2 for this book. And I would love to turn that into $40 or $50. We'll see. Or anything I can get really for those would be great to add to the bundle. But yeah, so that's like 2 more sort of listings to add to my store, and then hopefully to add to the fund. I would think these wouldn't sell that fast, but you never know. And I think my strategy for the week is get caught up as much as I can on listings of this stuff that I'm counting in my challenge, and then that work on that big $47 lot as well, because I want to get those listed and send out offers and try to get something sold this week to get some more money back for this challenge. So that means after 4, I have, I believe, $9.42. I had $9.42. After, subtract $4, I have $5.42. And that's not really much to spend with. I mean, I could go to Goodwill and see if I could find a few things, but I don't know if I'll have the time to even list everything I have. So I think the priority is list what I have this week, and maybe even take Saturday off of yard sales or even estate sales and catch up, especially if I only sell 1 or 2 items, or if I sell no items. It could happen. And just take some time off and rest a little bit and get a little bit caught up and then rest a little bit. So I don't know what everyone else's strategy is, but I have to have some rest time as well to get through these kinds of things and working a lot, trying to build a business. But we'll see. Again, if a family run estate sale pops up or a big yard sale that looks like it could have something more like what I was wanting to find this week, like a really quick selling item that I know that I'm really familiar with. You just never know. We'll see how it goes, and I'll update you at the time. I'll update you over the weekend, hopefully, of what's going on and what I decide to do. And anytime I get a sale, I think I'll update you as quickly as I can, because I'll be excited about getting a sale. So far, the consensus is I am not doing well at this challenge, but it's a long-term project, right? This is something I'm working towards for the rest of 2024, and I've just got to stay as positive as I can about it, and I will try to do that.
Okay, just a quick update. Hooray, I finally sold something. I sold the second item in this challenge, and I'm finally gonna have some money to take back out to go shopping with. So, and this was a proper sale. This was something I got for, I think, $2 and sold for $18. So I got, after the fees, I earned $16.51, I believe. Okay, so I made $16.51 off of this sale. So that means I have $21.93 in the fund now. I haven't decided yet. I've got a couple days left till yard sale day. I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna go back out and buy more stuff. I probably have to go look for some stuff, right? But maybe I'll sell something in the next couple of days between then, and I'll have even better news. So just wanted to let you know that I finally got another sale, and probably my first proper, good profit sale of this challenge. So I am still under that, below that first 50 that I invested, but hopefully we'll get some more build up on that, and I will get into the profit soon. Hey, so it's Saturday morning. And as I talked about, I wasn't sure if I should go out to yard sales this weekend, and I would decide probably at the last minute, which I have. I actually thought about sleeping in, but it's just 7 o'clock now, and I was awake. So I looked, and there's not much going on, and it didn't look like there would be because it's supposed to rain in a few hours. So that makes sense. So that might be for the best, but clearly I have to go and see if I can find anything. The great news is I sold one more item and I got $13.19. I'm happy with that. It's sort of what I'm looking for minimum to make around that for each item that I've got right now while I'm trying to get this going. Obviously I want it to be a little bit more later on
as I'm building. But for right now, I'm super happy with that, and that I've now got a couple of items from that big first yard sale haul sold. I am now at $35.12 in the fund, so we're not exactly soaring off into profit land, but I have some money to work with. And today, so if we find any yard sales today, the goal is, what was the goal last week? The goal is to only pick up something if it's really fast selling would be the first, and good profit. So the fast selling is the most important thing. I think I need to buy things and sell them really quickly right now, because I have plenty of stuff to list from last week still. Believe me, I probably only listed about half of it. So I have plenty more to do and to get online. But I want to find some stuff that's better profit, but that will go faster, because I think some of this stuff is going to take a while. So I'm going to end the video here. I'm going to head out to the yard sales, and I will let you know how it goes in the next video. See you then.